Welcome back. It's your boy Tosin. Welcome to another episode of Fleet Footed. Yes. Well, I guess the season's officially over for Arsenal fans anyway. Season's not fully over, but it may as well be. Obviously, you guys would have seen the news. Man City are now the Premier League champions. Hats off to City. I mean, at the end of the day, the table doesn't lie. Over a 38-game season, the table absolutely doesn't lie. Numbers do not lie. And City have shown themselves to be the winner. So credit to City. Great success story from City. Had to come from behind all season, chasing Arsenal. They had to overcome a lot of adversity, like Man City, a team with the most money in the Premier League, a team that's facing lots of financial violations and whatnot in the Premier League, a team that's got like a crazy squad. It's a real Cinderella story. Now, all saltiness aside, credit to a team that's got the best manager probably in world football right now. But yes, so it's a real Cinderella story for City. Nah, I'm joking. No, let me just stop being salty. Credit to City. They did it. They got the business done. They won the Premier League. They're the champions. But this is an Arsenal-focused content show. So I got to start with AFC. I've only got 3 things I want to discuss today, guys. So we're going to be talking my thoughts from the Nottingham Forest match, the spiritual lessons from not just the match, but just the way Arsenal crumbled, and the positives as well, because as annoying as this season has been, particularly the end of it, not this season, but the end of it, there's some positives to take from it, and I don't care what people are saying. I'm going to look at the positives as well. So, in terms of Arsenal versus Nottingham Forest, Arsenal lost 1-0 to Nottingham Forest at their ground. By the way, this is twice in a row we've gone away to Nottingham Forest and we've lost without scoring a goal. The last time was the FA Cup when we played like dog poo, playing that in that all-white kit, terrible performance. And you know what's interesting? I think it's crazy. We finished second this season. That season, I think, was it last season or the season before that, where Nottingham Forest knocked us out? I think it was last season. Could be wrong. I think it was last season. But we were just absolute dog poo. Like, so horrible, that game when we lost. And weirdly enough, with a better squad in a better position in the league, where we're only focusing on one competition. Sorry, I'm still going to keep digging out these 1 game a week merchants, where we only have 1 game a week to focus on, where we can conserve all of our energy because we're only playing 1 game a week. We still look just as bad as when we lost in the FA Cup. We were terrible. Awful performance. That performance stunk. Oh my goodness. I don't even know where to start. I don't know where to start with just the sloppiness from the players. I don't know where to whether the sloppiness from the players or Arteta. I just don't know. But first, I'll start with Arteta because Mikel, I rate you. I think you're a great coach. I think he's a good coach. Great is a bit of a stretch. Good, and he's going to improve it. I believe he's going to become a great coach. He's a young coach. He's going to learn. And the thing is, we got to give Arteta credit. When he gets it right, he gets it right? But when he gets it wrong, what I respect about Mikel is he takes accountability. It's one thing to throw your players under the bus or blame shift. One thing I like about Mikel, he takes full accountability. No, it's on me. So it was good that he did that. But bro, why on earth are you not playing Tierney? Why? Why are you playing Kivior left back? It was just so weird. Why are you playing Thomas Partey right back? It just doesn't make any sense to me. There were so many decisions that I thought to myself, what is going on? And it was just such a dreadful performance. We had nothing, absolutely nothing. Nothing. Just so bad. Really, really bad. There's just not much to say. We just played pants. And honestly, it's not just all on Arteta. The team just looked burnt out. They just looked tired, man. They looked tired mentally. They looked tired emotionally. They looked tired physically. It was just poor. Now, all good and well, Arsenal have overachieved. I just want to be honest and fair. Arsenal absolutely have overachieved. But I'm sorry, the way we're ending and stinking out this season, this has put a massive stain on whatever sort of improvements we've seen. This is a stain, oh my goodness. Like, 7 points out of our last 21 is absolutely abysmal. 7 out of 21. We've conceded 23 goals at home in the league this season. Only in the season when Unai Emery got sacked and Arteta came in did we concede more in a single season at home. We've conceded more goals this season than Chelsea. And it's like, it was weird. It was just poor. Just sloppiness in midfield, giving away the ball. Ødegaard, who's been great this season, but it was just such a sloppy pass. And the thing is, I didn't even watch the match. I only watched probably like the last 15, 20 minutes. And it was just dreadful. Like, we were just passing the ball from left to right, just nothing. Nothing. Offering absolutely nothing. Gibbs White on another day could have scored a goal. You know, he was really good for Nottingham Forest. And Nottingham Forest deserved the win. Arsenal were terrible. And there's too many games I've seen like that this season where Arsenal just decide not to turn up. It's just poor. I just don't know what else to say. It was just really poor. We just bereft of ideas. Now, why did we lose the match? I just think it ties in with the spiritual lesson I want to share. The Bible says in Proverbs chapter 24, verses 16, but though the righteous may fall 7 times, they get back up. But the wicked stay down when calamity strikes. Arsenal's issue is identity. The reason why we were so bad, it's crazy, because I was just talking about how much this team had changed, blah, 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 at the start of the season. I'm going to get to why I was wrong. I was right in a sense, but like there's still a lot of things to work on. Arsenal, the thing about them is they just stay down. Like, okay, cool. Man City, great. It looks like they're going to win the league. The probability of you not winning are very slim to none. But bro, you spat your mouth guard out. You legit just threw in the towel. You've just gone on holiday already. Like, you've let a poor run of form become your identity. You know, you didn't allow the incident to be isolated. You allowed that to become your identity. And unfortunately, like, rightly so, people are going to bring it up. We collapsed in the 18-19 season when 4th was up for grabs in Emery's first season. And we collapsed in Baku in the final. We collapsed last season to get 4th. And we collapsed this season to get the title. As good as Man City have been, I know people are going to say, yes, their squads, blah, blah, blah. Yes, Man City, yeah, it's true. We can't compete with Man City's squad. But the truth is, we were competing with them. It was in our hands. I'm sorry. Like, why are so many fans letting that slide? We were 5 points clear with 8 games to go. As good as this Man City team were, we had them on their knees. We had them. All we had to do, hold that. If you get that W, you had Liverpool on their knees, 2-0. Bottled it. You had West Ham on their knees. And then you drew to 3. It's like, it was in our hands. But I think what happened with this team is we're just carrying shame, which I struggle with a lot. Because it's like they lost one, but they let that one, they drew, Arteta said it was Liverpool. Liverpool was the game that did us. And it's like, man, it's like, okay, cool. Liverpool was one game. It's one game. Like, where's the mental strength? One game affects the next 6 games after? Really? And you want to say that you're going to win the league? Really? And I'm preaching to myself here because just in the way Arsenal collapsed, I think many people tend to do that in life. I don't know if you guys are like me. When I make a mistake, man, oh man, it stays with me. I can struggle with carrying shame. But I think there just comes a point in life where you have to accept you're going to take L's. You have to accept the L. But like, you can accept the L without throwing in the towel. And what I saw from this team, this is a team that's Brighton and this, you just threw in the towel. You just like, okay, cool. We're not going to do it anyway. What's the point? Very, very like victim-like. And I didn't really like that. For a team that's grown a lot this season, I was saying that mentality monsters. Man, I didn't like that. There's a stain. there's a stain in our identity that needs to change, you know, like, it's just really, really bad. And I think the scary thing is it's crazy because it's like, I see that in myself. That's probably why I support Arsenal. But yeah, it's like, it was just poor. I just didn't see a team out there that was like trying to win. I didn't see a team out there that's like, okay, cool. It's not gone my way. Let me get up, dust myself up, and just give a good account of myself. It was just poor. You know, like I really want to see. I know the game is the season's pretty much done now, but at least respond in a good way. Respond at home against Wolves. The season's over, but just end on a high, just for your own sake. Not even for Man City, not even for other rival fans. For your own sake, end on a high. Win, bounce back, take your L. You know, take the pain, deal with it. I just didn't see that. Like, righteous people fall down. Like, I love that the scripture I shared. Like, you fall down when you're trying to do what's right. Like, people who never take chances, people who aren't trying to do what's right, people who aren't trying to make things happen, they don't fall down. They just stay still. At least with us, we were trying to do something. Okay, you failed. You took your L. Why are you not getting up? Why are you staying down? Why are you all being mopey? Why are you being sad? I get it's a young team, but is it really that younger team? Yes. Okay, cool. But is Partey young? No. Is Gabriel Jesus young? No. Is Zinchenko young? No. He's not young. Is Xhaka young? No. These guys aren't young, bruv. Okay, Gabriel, youngish. Great. Saka, young. Fair enough. But, like, I'm sorry, like, this team, just get up, guys. And it's something they're going to learn, but it was just annoying, honestly. It was just annoying. And it makes me think, like, man, like, a lot's been said about the progress that's been made at Arsenal, right? This season. But when you see the same characteristics and habits and tendencies, that for me is what I want to see, is where I measure change by. I'm not measuring, okay, cool, yes, we've done better this season. Definitely, we have. But it's just that mentality, that mindset, that when things aren't going your way, and man, you spot it if you got it, because I do it a lot. So, yeah, that was spiritual lesson number one. The righteous fall down, but get back up. The wicked stay down. Like, where in your life, if you're listening to this, where in your life have you taken L's and you're staying down? Where in your life have you been, are you moping? It's time to get up. You know, like, Arsenal just need to learn how to get up. Same way with me, like, I need to learn how to get up a lot quicker. Because the mad thing about life is that, like, life comes at you fast. The longer you stay down, the more opportunity you lose out on. The more time you waste. And by the time you get up, there's so much opportunity and time that you could have used that's wasted. And I feel like that's what happened with Arsenal. So much. I think we're also, like, in our heads a bit as well. So, man, I can really spot it because I've got it. So, yeah, that was spiritual lesson number one. The righteous fall down, but they get back up. Only the wicked stay down, right? AKA the unrighteous. Lesson number two, and this is something that I've had to accept. I was talking to a good friend of mine, and he said to me, Tosin, you know what the issue is with Arsenal? Tell you the truth, they can buy all they want. Next season, they may improve, but they're just gonna do the same thing ultimately. I was like, rah, that's harsh, man. Blah blah blah. But he made a good point. He goes, you know what costs Arsenal? He goes, the fans. But you know what? He's not wrong. You know. And because the second spiritual lesson I learned from this was, you've not arrived. And you never will arrive. So the Bible says in Philippians 3 verses, Paul says, this is Paul the Apostle. He says in the book of Philippians, in Philippians chapter 3, bear in mind, he has had over 30 years of ministry. At this point, he's built several churches, helped several people become Christians, raised up several spiritual leaders. He's done so much. But yet he says in Philippians chapter 3 verses 12, not that I have already obtained all this or have arrived at my goal, but I press on to take a hold of that for which Christ Jesus took hold of me. So what's Paul saying here? Paul was like, he made it his goal to know Christ. He wanted to know more and more about Christ. And you'd think after 30 years of leading a powerful ministry, all sorts of spiritual highs and successes and achievements, lots of failures, lots of persecutions, lots of issues, lots of drama, but lots of victories. You'd think, bro, like you should think and act like you've arrived. But he's like, no, I have not arrived at my goal. And then he says in verse 13, brothers and sisters, I do not consider myself yet to have taken hold of it, it being his goal. But one thing I do, forgetting what is behind and straining towards what is ahead. So Paul had a mindset where he always forgot what was behind. He forgot the good things, he forgot the bad things that happened, but he also, I think in life, sometimes you have to forget the good things as well. Because if you don't forget the good things in life, then you're always going to use what you've achieved before as a cap. Oh yeah, I did this before, I can, no. But what if you're putting an, oh, I did this before, yeah, then I'm just naturally going to do it. No, you're not. How do you know that? How do you know that the level that you were at before where you did something is going to be enough to take you to the level that you're going to? And I think for me, one of the things I really learned that it sobered me is like, I thought Arsenal had arrived. It's like, my mistake was thinking we arrived as a team, making claims like, oh yeah, mentality monsters. Yes, the team has grown a bit, but it's like, you got to let people's results do the talking. You can't think you've arrived. And even when you do well, like, for example, Man City won the league, but they've not arrived. They still, okay, cool, great, they've done this, FA Cup, even if they do the treble, it will, the worst and the most stupidest thing they do is to think they've arrived. This is actually what cost Liverpool. Liverpool won the league, won the Champions League, they won the league the next season. They were incredible when they won the league. Yes, COVID era, but like people forget that first half of the season before COVID-19 tried to lock up the season. Liverpool pretty much already had the league won. They were just winning. Like they won, I think they won like pretty much all their matches except for one. Like they were nuts. Liverpool went wild. But what was their issue? They thought they arrived. Titanic tussles with Man City, coming close, especially this season. They thought they arrived. Like the issue with Liverpool is it didn't really look like they had a plan in place for what would happen when they actually won and achieved and then built on that. They didn't do that. And it really cost them, right? But I think with Arsenal, going back to Arsenal, you've not arrived. And I think a lot of, myself included, but I saw it in a lot of fans, a lot of Arsenal fans, we thinking that the team has arrived. We haven't. And the truth is, rival fans are absolutely right to like batter us, and we can't have been talking the big talk about Arsenal all season. Yeah, this team is different. This team is this team is that. These guys are men. No. All of this, that. We can't have been saying that and singing their praises to other fans, rival fans. And then when we're getting the stick, oh yeah, bottlers, oh, and then bring out, oh yeah, but in a world, I can't believe in a world where a team that finished fifth last season, finished fifth and missed out on Champions League last season, now this season they finished second, competing with the most richest team in England. No. I can't believe in a world how that can be considered a bottle. Even pundits are saying that. I'm sorry, but I don't agree with them. We bottled it, we blew it. We absolutely bottled it. Why? Because we kept trying to seek validation. Oh, talk about, I know for me, I kept trying to seek validation. No, give respect to this team. This team is different. A good team doesn't need opposition fans to validate them, for them to be seen as good. A good team just wins and lets their winning be their validation. So, spiritual lesson, you never really arrive. And I think Arsenal have not really fully arrived as a team, but I think the pressure that we fans, myself included, put on them, oh yeah, this team, this, that, talking this, that. Nah, they have not arrived. They've not arrived at all. Not at all. And I think this is just a life lesson. You never arrive. If you think you've arrived, you will never get there. I know for me personally, so many times where I learn something and then it becomes a conviction of mine and I can see some growth. What I see with me, my issue is like, okay, because I see some growth, okay, you know what? Because there's growth, what I'm going to do is because there's growth, I've completed it now. I don't need to ever struggle in this area again. Wrong. Absolutely wrong. And I always have that mindset. And guess what? I mess up in that area and you know what happens? I get all depressed. I get sad. How can I be failing? How can I be failing again in this area? Because I'm so amazing. How can I? No, you've not arrived, bro. And I think this is something that I see in a lot of people. It's like, you've not arrived. Like, how dare you think you should be an expert in something? Like, you never arrive. You're a continual learner in life. And this is something that, like, I'm even learning in my life. Like, currently, it's like, no, I'm always learning. Even when I'm successful at something, I'm still always learning. There's failure, learning, growing, educating. It's just all a part and parcel of life. So you can never think you've arrived, or you will never, ever get there. And this is the lesson, I think. This is the second spiritual lesson I've learned from Arsenal. It's like, we actually were thinking this team have arrived. They absolutely have not. This team have far from arrived, right? Now, it may sound all negative, but I'm going to get to the positives. Because Arsenal have not arrived, this collapse is actually good. It's good. Now, you may think I'm trying to play reverse psychology. No, this collapse is actually really good for Arsenal because it shows a lot of work is required, right? Now, we knew some work was required, but by and large, if Arsenal had like pushed it all the way, you would have heard people say, yeah, like this team, whoa, like they're just only a few signings away. No, we're not. We're a lot of signings away. We need 2 new midfielders, and Xhaka is going. We already needed two good midfielders to come in. And when I say midfielders, I mean people who are going to start. As good as Thomas Partey's been this season, man, his drop-off in the final quarter of the season is alarming for me. Drop-off in quality. It's either physically he can't do it over a whole season, maybe he's tired, I don't know. But we need to bring in someone who's as good as him or who's just under his level, who's gonna make him think like, nah, bro, if you don't pattern up, you are not playing. You're gonna be ousted out the team. We need players to come in that are gonna put these guys on the bench. Like, yes, we need players who are gonna come in that can put Partey on the bench. We need players that can come in that can put because Xhaka is leaving, that can put credit to him to end the season to end his time at Arsenal with a good season. We need players that are going to force Jorginho to continually stay on the bench and only make appearances in Carling Cup when we can bring out a World Cup winner for Carabao and Champions League games where we need to rest the team, right? But the collapse is good because it shows a lot of work is required. Why is this collapse good? Because it shows our reliance on Martinelli and Saka. It's something I've said a lot. It's weird because it's like, someone needs to help me understand. So I'm just trying to understand. Odegaard is on 15 goals. We've bought Gabby Jesus, who's chipped in with some goals. He could score more. I hope he gets some training in the summer. He needs to be a lot more. He needs to be a penalty box striker. He needs to be a lot more ruthless. He could score more, but how in a season where Odegaard has scored 15, Odegaard has scored 15, and Nketiah has chipped in with goals, Gabby Jesus has chipped in with goals. How in a world where we've actually finished second, we're gonna finish second, we've added more to us, how are we still reliant on Saka and Martinelli? Like, that for me is, like, I was looking at that game, I was like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same thing as last season. What happened? Like, what happened in us burning out last season? We played Saka every single match. He was good in spurts. We played it every single match, and the guy just got tired at the end of the season. Same for Martinelli. Martinelli's injured now, out for the rest of the season. So that's a large part of our threat offensively gone. And now Saka, he's just tired. He's burnt out. And I don't blame the guy. People are saying 007. Yeah, he needs to do more. Yeah, absolutely he does. But the guy's played legit every single game for Arsenal. Like, we've played him every game. Arteta's spoken so highly of the likes of Nelson, Trossard. Trossard. Like, why are you not giving Smith Rowe a chance? So I think the collapse shows a lot of work needs to be done on the pitch in terms of people we're buying, but off the pitch in terms of who we buy, but on the pitch in terms of rotation and tactically. It shows that a lot of work is required. So I would like to see someone come in that's going to push these guys, especially Saka. Like, I rate Saka so much, but he needs someone who's going to come in, be at his level or just under, and really push him. Like, push him out of the team so that he can get rest. Like, Saka gets compared to Foden a lot, and people can say what they want. But the thing is, Foden is a baller. But you look at Man City, like, Foden doesn't have to play. Foden's been injured a lot this season, right? But they've been able to bring in like a Mahrez. Now, I'm not saying Arsenal, but I'm sure we can surely find someone who can come in and do a job. Trossard can. but like we need more of that. So I think actually this collapse shows that a lot of work needs to be done, which is good. So it means this team in our phase 3, we're under no illusions that a lot of work needs to be done. So it means some good investment can actually go into the team, hopefully. I mean, I've seen see holes. We need someone to push Partey, to make him, to give him a real fear of riding the bench. We need another centre back. Actually, I think no. What we need is right backs. We need Ben White to play centre backs. So we've got Ben White, Saliba, Gabriel, and Kivior. 4 centre backs. 3 of those centre backs used to play in the Premier League are going to be good. Kivior's still learning. I don't know what's going to happen with Tierney. I hope he stays. And I'll get to Arteta in terms of rotation. But I actually think it's good. So it's honestly not all bad. It's not all bad in terms of what it means we need to do for next season. And I'm undecided about a striker because I feel like we might need one. Either that or Jesus is going to need to do some training in terms of his efficiency in front of goal. Love the guy, such a baller, but I think he needs to change in that area. So these are the positives. And another positive is Arteta. Arteta's got to learn, because he talks a lot about how much he loves the team and the players, but it's quite clear he doesn't trust the squad as a whole beyond his starting first 11. And I think he's learned a rough lesson this season that, look, bro, players have limits. You can't play them. You can't play the same team every single game. You're gonna need to find a way to be. You're gonna and you're gonna need to imitate your mentor Pep. You're gonna need to find a way to be able to win over a whole squad, to make them buy into your belief, buy into your ideology. You're gonna need to be able to buy good players and be able to encourage those good players who aren't necessarily playing every game, to help them understand that they're a part of what you're doing and that they're important to the team. So I think next season it's good. I think he will learn. If he doesn't grow in terms of his rotation, then that's just him being a fool, if I'm being honest. But I think he'll learn. He's a good coach. Contrary to popular belief, he's obviously improving as a coach. In terms where we finished each season since he signed is improving. So he's obviously improving as a coach. But I think these are the positives, that it just means we're going to have good investment. I've heard Rice banded. I've heard Caicedo. I'll take both, but that Declan Rice price is frankly disgusting. 100 M's for him is just, it's too much. I'd rather spend but Rice would be perfect. Rice would be perfect because Arsenal needs someone with legs that can take the ball and carry it. We don't have that. We don't have someone who can drive with the ball through midfield. Again, this is where I'm talking about the over-reliance on Saka and Martinelli. Yeah, it works, which is true. It's good. I like what he's done, Arteta. I like the fact that he's set the team up in a way where a lot of our offensive play is based on them, on Saka and Martinelli going one-on-one with their fullbacks and passing inside the fullback so they can take on the fullback one-on-one, cut inside, which is good, and it's worked really, really well this season. But my guy, what happens when they get tired? What happens when they get injured? Bear in mind, these guys are still 23 or under. So our offensive game is being relied on, is heavily reliant on a bunch of people who are 23 and under, and we're trying to aim for the Premier League title. That can't be. We got to change this. So these are the positives. I'm really looking forward to see what we're going to do. Arsenal need a Valverde type of player. Someone who can, or a Modric, someone who can play in the middle of the park, but that can take the ball, not just pass it, not just move it, but run with it, literally ball carrier, drive through the middle, so it gives us different options, not just attacking through the flanks, which only works when Saka and Martinelli are fresh, in form, are at it. But we need other options as well. So this is a key one. What we do in the middle of the park is going to be so huge. So these are the positives. So in a way, it sucks that we collapsed, but at the same time, it's also a sobering reality check that as much as this team has achieved this season, there are still remnants of the old Arsenal in this team that need to be driven out and battered out. So that's only going to come with good investment. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what we do in the summer. I'm hoping for quick business. I saw on Sky Sports today we want, what is it? Gundogan. It'll be dope to get Gundogan. Good, you can see he's a clutch player. and he's got the winning experience. Gundogan, Rice, I forgot the other player who they said Arsenal wanted. But yeah, I would love to take these players. But we need right backs. We need a right back. But yeah, I would say Arsenal fans, look, we got to smile. We have got to smile, right? Like, it sucks. Just take your L. Let the rival fans do their things. To be honest, it's entitled. I mean, if you give it like we've been given all season, you got to be willing to take it, right? So those are the positives. Like, it's shocking, but it goes to just to show just how much work Arsenal got to do. But it's not all bad, you know. Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is. We lost. Like, we bottled it. Okay, cool. We failed. We took a big L. It happens. We're gonna learn from it. So what? Like, cool. I just don't want this to be part of our identity, because that's the issue. It's becoming our heritage, you know. We got to get out of this heritage of like staying in a funk. We got to get out of that. So yeah, that's pretty much all I wanted to share, guys. Thank you so much for listening. Hopefully Arsenal can end the season with a bang. Just beat Wolves at home. Just something to smile about. And hopefully Inter Milan can be... This is just me being soft. Hopefully Inter Milan can beat Man City. Just give me something. Anyways, guys, take care. Bye.